Good evening, good evening, good evening. This is the second try to get online. The first time we seem to freeze on our side. So welcome back, those that are joining us again. Thank you for patience. Patience is something that I think we all need to cultivate in the world as it is at the moment. So thank you for joining us. Hi all. And as we were saying earlier, we like to know who we're talking to. So if you can just type up your name in the comment section and let us know who we're speaking to. And if you are joining us for the first time, if you just like to press the like and the share button. And also if you're watching on YouTube, if you can subscribe to our channel and press the bell. That definitely does help get the podcast out to a greater audience. So thank you. Hello Amanda. Nice to see you. Well, we can't really see you, but we can see that you've joined us. Thank you for the hearts. We really love getting the hearts.
Yeah,
so
if anyone else is on, please just let us know that you're here.
Yeah.
Because we're having a bit of an issue seeing you tonight.
Our internet is slow apparently. I'm not too sure
Shouldn't
why,
be.
but it is slow. Yeah, it shouldn't be slow, but it is.
Okay.
So thank you for your patience. Let's start this evening by centering ourselves down into the present moment. Just make quite sure you're comfortable. Close your eyes and connect inwardly to this moment. And one of the ways we do that is by connecting directly with the body, with the beautiful, beautiful vehicle that we have to navigate this reality. So just close your eyes and connect directly with the chair that you're sitting on, or the bed or the floor that you're lying on. Just connect with the sensations coming into your body right now, right here and now. Let's connect with our hands, become aware of the hands. You might like to just say thank you to the hands for all that they've done for you today. We take them for granted, and yet they really do enable us to experience the world in magical ways. Become aware of your feet, where they're resting right now, your legs. Possibly your legs have enabled you to walk today, maybe even run, maybe dance. Say thank you to the legs. And even though your eyes may be closed at this time, just become aware of any colors or shapes behind the eyelids. You might like to say thank you to the eyes for letting the vision of the world into your awareness. Notice who or what is aware of the shapes or colors behind your eyelids right now. It's not your name, it's not your gender or your age or your education or your achievements. There's something more profound, more sacred, more real, more present. It's the light of your awareness. You are the light of awareness that's aware of your hands, your feet, your legs, any shapes or colors behind your eyelids right now in this moment, and also any sounds that you can hear. The fact that you can hear my voice right now, it's coming through the mechanism of the eardrum. It's being interpreted in the brain, changed into something that you can recognize as meaningful. But what is actually perceiving it right now is the light of your awareness. Take a very deep breath in now. Very, very deep breath in. And as you breathe out, just sink down deeper into your physical body. Take a second very deep breath in, filling your whole body up with this beautiful fresh breath. And as you breathe out, just withdraw your mind from all other times and all other places, and just be here now in this moment. And feel the life that's animating your body. It's this energy that's enabling you to breathe. It's It's enabling you for you to hear. Become aware of this energy of life that enables you to feel your hands and your feet. See if you can feel the temperature of the room on your cheeks. And once again, acknowledge the life that is enabling you to have this sensation. Take another very deep breath in, right down to the toes and up to the top of the head. So you're filling your whole body up. And then a lovely, long, slow sigh out. Just let it all go and surrender. And be here now. Be here now fully. You can always cope with the present moment. You might like to say that in the personal. I can always cope with the present moment. My point of power is in the present moment. Life and presence are one and the same. So the moment we become present, we become animated with the full energy of life. We don't have a life, we are life. Life is our being. The words life and being point to the same space. And in this moment, not through memory or anticipation, experience the life that's animating your body right now. And you might like to acknowledge it with a sense of gratitude for being here now. To be aware and awake is to be alive. To experience the light of being in yourself and in the world around you is the doorway to love. As we open our hearts, as we dissolve the barriers that we have created of protection, so we experience the flow of life, the flow of love. And grace becomes the organizing factor in our lives. And miracles appear where there were only walls and blockages before. You are the light of being. Take a deep breath in, and as you breathe out, just acknowledge this essence of life that you are in this moment. Feel the beauty of this moment, this interaction, this satsang, and become aware of the awareness that's experiencing this beautiful moment together, this sacred moment, this unique moment, this precious moment that we are connecting with. And as our heart opens, so this radiance of light and love comes through us as instruments into this world, bringing much needed healing and peace to the world that we inhabit. We have no idea the lives that are influenced through our presence. It is a privilege to be here at this time, despite the challenges. Take another very deep breath in and release it. And bringing this awareness of presence, open your eyes, see how you feel in this moment. How do you feel? A bit more calmer, a bit more settled, a bit more centered. Welcome. Welcome.
Hi everybody, thanks for joining us. I'm sorry if we had a bit of a sticky start there, I'm not sure what happened.
Yeah.
I think we froze or something.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It is cold outside tonight.
It is cold outside. It's been very warm outside today, but now in the evening it starts to get chills. The winter's here. finally.
Yeah, definitely. The
Yeah.
clear skies that lets all the heat out at night.
Yeah. Good. So tonight we're going to be talking about the light.
The light that is here, right now. So you can call off the search. What's happening in the stars? Anything of relevance?
Well, I mean, you're asking me that today, and I'm feeling sort of a bit cloudy. So that's what it feels like. So we've got the Sun and Venus together still. They're still traveling together in the bright, chirpy sign of Gemini. But both of them are in a connection to Saturn, which is a little bit like clouds passing over the Sun. So the Sun is still there, but there's sometimes a cloud that passes over. So it's not a shadow as such, but it's a bit of a dimming of the light, an apparent dimming. It's not actually being dimmed. Still there, still shining as brightly as it would always. So I think that's what's around, and it's going to be around for the next while, next couple of days, and then there's some very sort of gentle energy coming in, but could actually be sort of precipitating some surrender and letting go and release. So I think over the next few weeks, that's what's going to be happening.
And yet we're in a phase of a new moon leading up to a full moon. That's normally not a time of release. I mean, what do I know about astrology? But that's normally the process.
Yeah, but we're also leading up to twice a year you have the Sun connecting to the planet Neptune, and Neptune is about release. So there's both. There's the waning. There's a waxing moon, but there's also release and a surrender, as opposed to. So it's not always as cut and dried as that.
Yeah, and I would say that the theme at the moment is possibly surrender.
Yeah,
surrender to the isness of this moment. And what is surrender but to let go, to release all that no longer serves us. And what doesn't serve us is anything that's not present in this moment. So to drop it, I think that's possibly the way through this moment, is to surrender, to release. To whatever life is giving you this moment, make this more important than any baggage that we're holding on to.
Or to surrender to the moment, to what's arising, not even to release it even. So you could release, but you could also just surrender to what's coming in and just be with it. Just hold a space for whatever is arising. That's also surrender. Surrender is just non-resistance and not trying to control it or shift it or fix it or anything like that. It's just to be with what is. Surrender to the process. And there's a process going on our planet of evolutionary process, and it's a shift in consciousness, but that can sometimes not feel that comfortable, because there's often a confusion there. There's often the way things used to be and the way things are going to be. There's a sort of a state in the middle of those where you're not quite sure who you are, what's going on outside, and there's a sense of feeling a bit lost sometimes as well. And that can be disconcerting, especially for people who like to be in control.
Yeah, well, that's the light, that's the cloud coming in front of the light,
yes.
Isn't it? The sun,
yes.
Which you spoke about earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And it's to recognize that, as you said earlier, even when there are clouds there, the sun is still shining, exactly as it always was. But because we are below the clouds, we experience that blockage to the light. And so it's to recognize that when we are feeling that cloudiness within us, that the light is still shining there brightly. And if we were to take a plane above the clouds, we would experience that beautiful sunshine, that beautiful light. And so the topic for tonight is the light is here. The light is always here. It's the light of presence. It's the light of presence awareness. You are the light. I am the light. There was a teacher 2,000 years ago that said that. You are the light. You are the light. And later on he said, I am the light as well. It's a recognition that the teacher was recognizing that we are the light and that he himself is the light as well. That the light is our true essence and we are always here. Our beingness is the light. It's the being that is the light of consciousness, conscious awareness. And so even when external circumstances appear as clouds of darkness, and they don't, the world around us looks a bit hazy and a bit foggy, it's to know that the real essence of who and what we are at all times is the light. We're not reaching for the light. We're not trying to earn the light. We're not trying to find the light. It's a stepping back into the awareness of that you are the light. And in that moment, you elevate your awareness, although it's not really even elevation, but you perceive the light directly because you are now above the clouds. What are the clouds? The clouds are always mind. It's not what's going on in the world that's the problem. It's your thoughts about what's going on in the world. And those clouds are the ones that cloud the light from our perception. And, David Hawkins, that wonderful doctor from New York, he had a psychiatric clinic in New York. He was very, very popular and very successful in his therapies. And in order to go to see him, you had to make an appointment. And it was interesting because in the 2 weeks it always took to get an appointment there, he insisted that everyone come off sugar. Do you know that?
I heard that. Yes.
Yeah, he had to come off sugar. And most psychiatric disorders were, I think it was something like 50 or 40% of all psychiatric disorders were sorted out just by coming off sugar. Anyway, but what he came up with is a map of consciousness, rated on a scale of 0 to 1,000, 1,000 being sort of Christ consciousness, awakened consciousness, and 0 being totally unconscious, but 20 was the lowest one that he measured, 20 being shame. And then above shame you'd have guilt. All the things like guilt, and you go right up to pride even, and anger and all of that. And then at 200 you break through, and then you go through acceptance, and then you go into reason, and then you go into things like love and peace and joy. And it's so interesting because those higher vibrations are the ones, those higher sort of experiences can be thought of as in the light, where the ones below 200 are the ones that there was a cloud. And what is the cloud? But the cloud of the mind. And it's to recognize that if we're not perceiving the light, it's because there is a cloud blocking that light. And that cloud can come from past experiences, can come from current experiences, can come from future experiences. But it's not the actual experience that's creating the cloud. It's our thoughts about the experience. It's those unconscious patterns that are being played out in our lives. But the light is always here. So on that scale in David Hawkins' chart, where above 200 you get things like acceptance and reason and joy and bliss and love, things like that. They're the light, and they're always here. In other words, even when in your darkest hour, in truth, the light is still there. Love is still there. No matter what the world looks like, love is still there because you are that. You are the light. You are the light, and you can't lose the light because you can only lose something you have. You can't lose something that you are. So even though the perception of reality might be very dark, perception of yourself might be clouded, might be very emotional at this stage, the very knowledge that I am light, can help elevate the brightness within your awareness to dissipate those clouds and help you find healing in the process. Yeah.
I think that when you know, when there's an awareness that you are the light, that there is something other than the darkness, then it's something that you can come back to. So there's a sense of, it's not safety, it's not security, but there's a sense of, I know that I can come back to this. Because when you're under a cloud, or when you're in a little bit of a dark place, it's often amplified or exacerbated by the thoughts that maybe I'm not going to get out of this dark place, and maybe I can't find the light, and maybe there's something wrong with me, or whatever it is. So when you start to actually become aware that you are that light, then you know that you can always return to it, even though that the clouds will clear and that you will return to that because it's your essence. Because I think that's what a lot of people are so fearful of, is that they can't seem to find the light. They seem to feel lost. So that's just something in response to what you were saying. And then in response to what Claire was saying there, she was saying how hard it is to surrender when you like to have things planned and like to be in control to a certain degree, but how liberating it is as well to surrender. Because the thing is that when we're not in surrender, we're in resistance. And when we're in resistance, we're actually in a prison, because everything goes into resistance. Whereas when you surrendered, you are open, and there's a liberation in the openness. There's an acceptance of whatever it is, however it's not going according to plan, or if there's an acceptance of the unknowing, the not knowing what's going to happen. There's an acceptance, and in the acceptance there's a surrender and there's a liberation. So it's very much like that caterpillar that we often refer to, that goes into the cocoon and starts to dissolve. It loses its form. And in the process of losing its form, it has to actually move through that loss of form, the illusions. It has to let go of the form that it thought it was, so that it can become something else. But when it's in that cocoon gunk, there's no way of the caterpillar, which is non-existent, knowing what it's going to become when it comes out the cocoon. So there's got to be an acceptance of the unknowing, of, well, I don't know what's happening. The old me is dissolving, and the new me isn't yet liberated. It's not yet, it hasn't yet pushed through. So then there's got to be trust and surrender in that process. And if you don't, that's okay, but then there's a resistance. And in resistance, there's suffering. So we are all in this process on various stages, and that process of evolution or process of transformation or process of awakening, whatever you want to call it, that is a process that takes time, different times for different people. It can sometimes happen very quickly, and sometimes it can take someone decades, where they spiral around and come back to the same place, but they're spiraling around and they're coming back to a similar place. It's not the same place. So it's a cyclical thing.
Yeah, and it's a matter when you say it takes time. It does seem to take time, but in fact, when you release, you find it's actually happened in the present moment, and you've always been in the present moment. It's just a matter of when we choose to let go, when we choose to surrender. And something you said there, which is really good to focus on, is as we open, we find who and what we really are. We don't find who we really are by understanding, by intellectual process. We find it by releasing, by surrendering, and by opening. So, for example, the truth is we are love. We are light. It's who we are. It's what we are. We are presence. And we don't find presence by reaching for it. We find presence by opening and surrendering the mind to allow what is in this moment to come into our awareness fully. So we allow the awareness of presence, which is who we are, to come into our awareness. So we're allowing the beingness to manifest more fully in our awareness. Or we're opening and allowing love to come more fully into our awareness. It's always there. Love is always there. But those clouds of mind, those old patterns, they block that awareness of the light, that awareness of love as our true essence. So it's just to realize that this process of awakening is not an achievement. It's not something to be reached for. It's not something to be earned, and it cannot be given to you, but it can be opened to. It can be surrendered to. So all those vibrations that David Hawkins was talking about in his map of consciousness, they're above 200. They're not something to be achieved or to be understood. They're to be opened to. So this process that you're going through right now in your life, no matter how challenging or difficult it is, just open. Don't build walls of defensiveness around yourself, of protection, because they will dim the light. They will prevent the light from coming into your consciousness. At this stage, let's open the windows of our soul. Let's open the door to our heart. Let's open and allow. Yeah, and sometimes we have to feel very uncomfortable feelings in that openness. But it's to be honest and vulnerable to whatever it is that's arising and flowing through you in the moment. But the very knowledge that I am light is that, as you were saying earlier, if you stand on that ground, then you can withstand those clouds of the mind, because you're always standing on very firm soil. You might like to just try this for a moment. Just settle back and just close your eyes for a moment and just say this very short, brief affirmation and just see how it shifts your awareness. I am light. Let's try that again. Just say it. I am light. Just notice any shift in your awareness as you say these words. Let's try it one more time. Take a deep breath in. And on the out breath just say, I am light. Gently open your eyes and just see how you feel in this moment. Just from that short moment, you possibly cleared some of those clouds and allowed the light of your true essence to shine more fully into your awareness.
Yeah.
Did you feel a shift? Was there anything there? Yeah. That's a powerful affirmation. You know, affirmations are such powerful tools at clearing the mind.
Yeah, the other affirmation you could use actually is just the light is here. If you're not feeling I am the light, and you might be feeling that, that's great, but use the words to align with how you're feeling. So the light is here is a true statement. So is I am the light, but you might not be feeling that. So you can just say the light is here. The light is here. It is here. It's always here. We're surrounded by it all the time. It's inside us, outside of us, and if we could see through us, we would see that we're just moving atoms of light. So it is here all the time. So it's the acknowledgement that the light is here, even in those moments of darkness, even in those moments of confusion, even in those moments of sadness. And as John said, it's not to judge it. It's not to say, oh, I'm feeling guilty or sad or something below the line, so therefore I should try and scramble up the ladder and get to enlightenment, because that means that you're resisting exactly where you are now, and where you are now could be the exact thing that you need to feel and process and be open to in order for you to actually liberate yourself. So it's the allowing process. That's the surrender to it. You're not wallowing in it. You're just acknowledging this is here, and it's okay to be here. I'm not going to try and get somewhere else necessarily. Not trying to make myself or try to become more awake or more enlightened or more positive even. I'm just going to allow this, because as you allow, you open and it shifts, as opposed to getting stuck.
Yeah, it's not to reach for the light. It's to know that the light is here.
Yeah.
The light is here. I don't have to reach for it. The light is here. Always underneath all those clouds and above the clouds and around the clouds. The light is here. The light is here. And that knowledge is more than enough to dissipate those clouds of the mind.
It's a coming back to, isn't it? It's a coming back to
into the light. Yeah, it's a stepping back.
It's almost like the mind has taken us out of the light and into the shadows, and that's okay. And then to know that you can actually, with a few breaths, you can come back into that light of presence.
Light of
awareness.
Light of conscious
it's just
awareness.
The light of awareness, the light of conscious awareness.
The clouds are really unconscious awareness. So we're aware, but we're aware of our unconscious patterns. They're the clouds that block the light of life, of love, from reaching our full attention, of full awareness. So this is a case of stepping back in your awareness, always stepping back out of the story into the isness of the moment. And the isness of the moment is always light. That's what it is, the light of awareness, because that's what you've just done. You've come into a state of awareness, and that is the light of consciousness. And you can replace the word light with, for example, the word love. Love is always here. And love isn't something to be earned. It's not something to be strived after. It's to be stepped back into, as you were saying. You step back into love. By what? By opening. The more we open, the more we allow the awareness of love into the experiencing of this moment.
It's
love,
a surrender.
You
have to surrender into love.
Yes.
You also can't go looking outside and looking somewhere else for it, or trying to be more loving, or trying to show love. It's the essence. So it's a stepping back. It's a surrendering into, you could call it the ocean of love. It's a surrendering into the field of light, the field of love. So we're in the field. We can't not be in the field of light and love, because that's the essence of everything. But we can feel like we're stepping out of it. But you can't. I remember that there was that talk by Deepak Chopra many years ago. I think he wrote about it, or he spoke about it, and he said he went to a medical conference, and they were talking about he was talking about the field of energy, so you could call it the same thing. And all these medical doctors were saying, "Oh, please, what the field of energy, and what are you talking about?" It was a long time ago. And he said, "Well, if you don't believe it, then step out of it. Because we're all in it. So then step out of it." And so that's what it is. It's imbues every single moment of every single day and every single thing on the planet. And it's what connects us to everything and all that is.
Well, love is that sense of connection, isn't it?
Yeah.
To feel love is to feel a sense of oneness with the world around you. That is love. And the only thing that separates us from that is the mind with its sense of perception, with the sense of separation. And so it's to step out of that back into the light, because the light is singular, presence is singular, love is singular. It's to step back into the true essence of being. Being is singular. And it's to release all those misperceptions about separation. That clears the mind. The wars stop when we have the sense of oneness in our awareness. And it's not something, as I say, to be earned. One of the things that came to me when you were speaking earlier is quite often people perceive, but if I had a better personality, if I had a better body maybe, then I would experience more love in my life. And the answer to that is absolutely not. You can have the most perfect body, the most perfect personality, and still not know yourself to be who you really are. No, it's not dependent on external circumstances. This is a case of delaminating your awareness from the stickiness of the world around you, even the world reflected in the mirror, the bathroom mirror, and come back into who and what you really are. I am light. Just say that. I am light. That's a statement of truth. Now, you might not believe that right now. You might not be able to feel it right now. But the more you say that affirmation, the more you rewire your brain to allow new evidence to come into your awareness of the truth of that statement.
Yeah.
So it's not a case of fixing your personality so you can experience more light in your life, or more lightness in your life experience. It's not a case of fixing anything. It's a case of realizing something, and the word to realize means to see with real eyes. Instead of the eyes of the mind, its judgmental mind that's stuck in past or projected into future, come back to the eyes of presence and see what is really here in this moment. This moment is divinely sacred. It's the most precious moment in all of creation. And it's the light of awareness that's able to perceive that directly, not through a intellectual process, but through direct experience in this moment. I am light. And the recognition that I am light is the recognition that everyone you meet is the same light. And it's a recognition of that light that is experienced as love.
Now, maybe just sort of a practical thing that we can do is to really become more aware of light. Because if you just watch and really connect with light and the way it plays on leaves and grass and flowers and a person's face, whether it's a sunlight, a moonlight, whether it's a candlelight, is just to actually connect. If you're not feeling it, connect with light, connect with it, because you're not separate from it. So as you connect with it, as you stare into the flame of a candle, sort of become that flame. You're not separate from the flame, and you can kind of almost bring that candlelight in, or the sun. You can open your arms at sunrise and bring that sun light in to ignite your own light. So just play with light. Play with light.
Yeah, that's the artistic side coming out in you, isn't it?
Yeah, because I find that when on those, when I do paint, which isn't often very much anymore, but when I do paint, you actually start to see light more.
You do.
Especially if you're painting scenes from nature or flowers or anything like that. You start to perceive light more because you're looking for it. And when we look for something, we align with it. So it's like looking for something to be grateful for. You align with the vibration of gratitude. When you're looking at light, you align with light. So I know I've done a few portraits, and it's so interesting because I would, when I'm working on a portrait, I would look at someone's face, and I'm very intently looking at their face to see where the light's hitting and what color, and there's some blue here and purple here. I mean, you can actually see the colors, and you can see how the colors and the light forms the face. So it's an acknowledgement of the light, and when you start to look for something, your energy starts to flow in that direction. Where your attention goes, energy flows. So if you're looking for light, you're going to see more light. If you're looking for things to be grateful for, you're going to see more things to be grateful for. So just, I think it might be...
And one of the exercises you can do, that was beautiful. One of the things that you can do is to see the light in the eyes of everyone you meet.
Yeah.
Look for the light in the eyes of everyone you meet. It's there, and you will see it. And the recognition of that light is like opening a door to the recognition of the light in you, because it's the light of awareness in you that's able to see that light in another. So let's try that exercise over this next week. Look for the light in the eyes of everyone you meet.
I agree.
And see what happens to to your own awareness, to the shift. Feel your heart opening as you see the light in another's eyes. Try that.
I agree with you. Even when you're at the petrol station or supermarket, if you just stop for a second and really connect with the person behind the counter or wherever they are, and just look at them in the eyes, there's so often such a beautiful connection, because most people just walk past and don't even look. And so when you actually make the connection, there's a connection. And that's seeing the light in someone's eyes. It is. Yeah. It's beautiful. Yeah. And it ignites your own light.
It does. And it ignites your own healing. Because to see the light is an act of transformation, of healing in yourself. So by focusing on the light, we're focusing on healing. What is healing? But to make whole again, to come back to who and what we really are, to come back to love, to come back to light. So that's it's the act of looking for light in the eyes of another is an act of self-healing. And as we heal the self, we heal the world around us that we meet as well.
Yeah, maybe also to take it a step further, if you're battling to see the light in yourself, is to look in the mirror, but look closely at your eyes. And those words, I love you, into the mirror with your name, and look into your eyes, deep into your eyes, and see the light in your own eyes. Very healing.
Try that, yeah. So you can, there was something we were looking at, we've come across a particular product which is called Light Wave, and it really is using your own light to heal the physical dysfunctions that we have in our body, and to recognize that light is a healer, light is medicine.
It is.
And when we start to recognize it, it's to bring it into our awareness. I mean, just being in the sun, for example, lying in the sun, being open to sunlight, has such a profound healing on the body. So I believe the new medicine is not going to be so much about drugs anymore, but more about light.
Frequency, light and frequency.
Light, yeah. This product that we came across, I mean, I had a very sore neck, and I just put this little light patch on me, and within 60 to 90 seconds, the pain just receded. It was just like phenomenal.
Happened to me too.
With your neck, with your neck as well.
It did happen very quickly.
That is the new medicine. It's light.
And I think that's part of what this big process into technology, in terms of the good part of it, is actually these incredible healing modalities and technologies that are actually going to come in the next 20 years. And I think that light is one of them, frequency is another, and they've been coming in for a long time, but it feels like they're going to be taking off more as more and more people realize that the old way doesn't always work.
Yeah, and as we change our frequency, so we become more open to these new technologies, to these new ways of being in the world,
and less able to deal with the old.
Yeah. Well, the old world becomes.
You used to, but even chemically, people are becoming much more in the conscious evolution that we're experiencing. Many people are becoming more sensitive to drugs and chemicals that they used to be able to handle, alcohol. Many substances. So it's just to know that that's shifting. So then something else will come in. So if you take a lot of drugs, then a homeopathic drug is not going to do anything, a medication or therapy. But as you start to refine, your energy starts to refine, you actually start to become more able to heal with the more subtle modalities. Like naturopathy, homeopathy, and this light frequency acupuncture. Yeah.
So you got some cards for us.
Do you want to pick one?
Yeah. Which card shall I pick tonight? I'm going to pick a blue one. Okay, that's interesting. Okay.
Good.
We've got a blue card here. That's our affirmation card.
Yeah.
Okay, you're going to lead us out with a meditation.
I will do.
Thank you for joining us tonight.
Thanks, everyone. All right, so just taking a deep breath in and a big, long, releasing breath out. Breathe all the breath out. And another nice, long, beautiful breath in. And as you breathe out, relax your shoulders, soften your body. Just allow yourself to surrender into this moment. Connecting with the breath as it comes in and as it leaves. Just noticing, not trying to control it. Noticing the temperature of the breath as it enters and as it exits. And consciously softening and relaxing your body, dropping your shoulders, opening your heart, breathing into your heart, as if you could expand it on the in-breath and then release it on the out-breath. And now connect to a scene from Mother Nature. Connect to a beautiful environment, maybe something that you've experienced recently. just in your mind's eye, take yourself to that place. And however you visualize, just connect with Mother Earth from this place. Connect to the ground beneath you. Maybe you can even get a sense of the smell, the textures. Maybe you can imagine taking your shoes off and sinking your feet into the soil. Perhaps you can smell the smells of the plants or the shrubs around you. Connecting with the light in this beautiful scene from nature. Connect with the texture of that light, the color of that light. Imagine how it changes the scene, how it reflects off of whatever's in that scene. And really feel love for this place that we live on, for this beautiful planet. Feel that love growing in your heart. Expanding your heart. Lighting up your heart. Feel yourself opening to the beauty. Now look above you and look at the beautiful sky above you. Connect with the color of the sky. The spaciousness. You might even want to imagine yourself lifting up and soaring through the sky like an eagle. Feel clouds drifting past you, covering over the sun briefly. And then clearing and watching the light come through again, warming everything up. Feel the freedom and the liberation of drifting through the air. And feel your gratitude and love for the sky, for the space, for the spaciousness. And feel that light and that love in your heart. Let it fill up your heart. And now connecting into your heart. And imagining a beautiful flame, a little flame of light. Right in the center of your heart. And as you soften and as you surrender to this moment, as you open to this moment, that little flame gets brighter and bigger. And it fills you up from the inside out. And radiates out, filling up your whole body, head to toe. And then radiates outward from your body, filling up the energy and the space around you. And it never ends. The light continues to move and to grow and to spread itself. There's no barriers or borders. Just allowing in this moment yourself to be completely present. You might repeat the words to yourself. I am surrounded by light. I am filled with light. I am light. I am surrounded by love. I am filled with love. I am love. Our affirmation card for this evening is: the present moment is the narrow portal to God or divine love. Present moment is the narrow portal to God, divine love. So leaning back into the present moment, into present moment awareness. Where there is nothing you need to change, nothing you need to fix. It's a simple coming home to your true essence, which is light, which is love. Taking a gentle breath in and a releasing breath out. Another full breath in and out. And when you're ready, you can gently start to open your eyes.
Beautiful. That's lovely. Let's make a commitment to bring more light into our awareness on a moment-to-moment basis. And the card tonight, the present moment, is the narrow portal to God, divine love. And for many people, they can associate the word God with the word light. So the present moment is the narrow portal to light. And the moment we step into this present moment, we are clearing the mind and allowing light to shine more fully into our awareness. Thank you for being with us tonight. Thank you.
Thanks,
Hope you enjoyed
everybody.
it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here. Sleep tight.